Oh, forgive me for a minute there, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to take note of a few things. I need to slam home a couple points, but I'm a firm believer there are no coincidences anymore. Everything's related. Everything. And give you a look around. It's my office. My office for now. Been wanting to do this for a while. But I'm a farmer now. That's all I want to do. Do I want to be a huge... Well, let me start over. Welcome. I'm Dave Creed. I am Citizen Creed. Welcome to the Citizen Creed Report, Edition 1, December 2nd. Oh. Thank you. Well, what I want to do, let me start with this, okay? What defines a man's word? Okay? It's not a trick question. His name, his signature, right? His word, his handshake, his oath. That's what defines a man's duty. What's in a man's heart? How do you know what's in a man's heart? You don't. But if his words match his actions, you have a pretty good idea what it does, okay? So, I'm going to give you my word right now. Because I don't want to do this. I want to be a farmer. But we just got Marines landing. We got Marines landing in Iraq again. How many wars do we got to get in? We haven't need this. I've come to the point where I've questioned my own service. Not my duty, my service to humanity, my service to the country. I've come to question that, but not my duty. My duty, based on my word, my oath. And one other thing. What other thing defines a man's duty? You know? He has an inalienable duty as well. I'm talking about. I've heard of inalienable rights. What's your inalienable duty? Some rights are bestowed upon you by God, which can only be taken away from you by God. But those rights come with a pass based on free will, right? You have the inalienable right, to protect the freedoms that our founding fathers so elegantly identified in our Constitution. One of them being our right to bear arms. And for God's sake, without that, we're all gone. They say they're coming for our guns. They're not coming for the guns. They're coming for us. That's what they're coming for. They'll never get it. This war's already won, by the way. It's just a matter of time. How much collateral damage? How many more people got to die? Well, we got at least a couple more battles to fight before we get the big one. Well, anyway, we've got an inalienable duty that we cannot defer, we cannot delegate. It's our duty, and one of them is if you bring children into the world, it is your duty. It is your duty to raise them, to nurture them, and get them to adulthood with a some core values that at least give them a good start on life. That's a duty. I don't care what the state says. I don't care what the country says. That is your right as a father. That's one. Okay? So, but our inalienable rights, right? When we be in the bear arms. Those rights are given to you by God and can only be taken away from you by God. You can exercise your free will and not defend them, and thus you won't have them, which by God is what everybody did. Because inalienable rights is not just a right or a privilege of we Yanks. The Brits have the same inalienable rights. The Russians have the same inalienable rights. The Chinese got the same inalienable rights. The Mexicans, the Latinos, they all got the same inalienable rights, but they were conquered and run over millennia ago. And our founding fathers could see that. And they said, we're a young country. We're actually kind of new on the stage, a couple 150 years, whatever it is. We're new on the stage. But they seen that. Okay? The Russians aren't our enemy. The Chinese people aren't our enemy. They almost, the Hindu, the Buddhist, all these different organized religions is killing us. But I'll get to that another day. All right? But they were all made in God's image. Right? Right? Our inalienable rights were given to us because we were made in God's image. The Russians were made in God's image. The Chinese, it's a beautiful plan. Okay? So that's the way I look at it. And I try to explain this stuff, but regardless. Okay, so I told you what defines a man's word. I'm giving you my word. I don't want a nickel. I don't want a penny from anybody. Okay? And that doesn't mean I'm cutting down the X22 report or Dave over there, Common Sense Show, or any one of them, Craig, Just Informed Time. No, not at all. Not at all. They are doing it. They are performing a great duty. What I'm going to tell you is that what I put in the headline of one of my reports, I'm going to cut straight to the case. I don't want you wasting time on the backstory if you don't want it. I don't. But if you might find a lot of good information in there, okay? Because I'm going to the map. I don't care. I don't care no more. The great thing about living this long, you get to some point where you no longer care what anybody thinks about you. Even your children. I love them dearly. Don't get me wrong. But I'm going to do what's right for them, no matter what they think about me. And you take that to the bank. So who's Q? Q's a machine. Got to be a machine. But I'm going to tell you right now, I am an AV analyst. 0445 if you want to be exact. But as an analyst, I usually got to provide you a confidence factor. What's my confidence factor? Well, I'm never going to give you, I will never, and I'm just making something up. I'm out of the game. I'm out there planting trees. I'm shoveling chicken shit. I start my day shoveling shit. I end my day shoveling shit. Sorry about my language, but that's just a fact. Farmer. I'm a farmer now. Most honest work I've ever done. I've come to question my service. Career Navy. Kind of. But not my duty. There's a difference. Okay, that's all I want you to know. What service have I provided to humanity? Participate only, but to participate in the annihilation, the death of how many people? For what reason? This is not. If you don't understand, I'm telling you, shipmates, brothers, if you don't understand what he's told, you just take a break. It's all good. I'm not slamming the military. Don't even get me wrong. I'm nowhere near that. I'm not questioning my oath. And I'm not questioning my duty. I'm not questioning my inalienable duties or my duties based on my word and my oath and my handshake. Okay, just to get that clear. Q's machine's got to be. But if he's not, okay, I'm giving you, with 90 going to be the, let me write that down because I forget. I don't want to, 90. I just think, just for the future. Now I got 90% confidence factor. Q is a machine, artificial intelligence, and Q plus, president, of course. But just in case I'm wrong, right? Because I'm gonna reveal my sources too. Right? On this stuff, I gotta reveal my sources and how I do it. Okay? Because I promised that in the thing. I'm not gonna lead you on. So if I am wrong, 90% is the most I can give you, right? I'm gonna find a pen. Excuse me. 1 second. Okay. 90%. That's a perfect confidence factor I will ever give you. Because I don't want to follow shit. This is, and that's just on my scale, okay? On my scale, based on what I do, okay? Today I'm telling you, perfect. Today I'm telling you, my confidence factor is 80% that Q equals AI. If I'm wrong, or remember Boolean algebra? Do they still put Secretary DeVoe? Do they still teach Boolean algebra in school? Okay, or Q equals, I'm going to say Admiral Rogers and staff. Basically a group of military intelligence, one or the other. But I don't think so. I think Q, and God bless it, Q plus equals Protus. And I've been slow. I live in Seattle. Shit, man. You know how many people I can talk to about this? Sum total. My wife will bear with me. More than anybody. But zero. I talk to myself. Anyway, it's a shame. So it's one or the other. Okay, where do I get my sources? Okay, as an analyst, we had a saying, ferrying the bearings. Because you got when you got limited intel coming in, and you're trying to compute what a enemy is going to do next, or sub's going to do next, whatever. You ferry the bearings, let's say. I don't have range, but I got bearings. Okay, I'm averaging. To get the course, I'm taking an average of the course. What do I do as an analyst today? I average the truth. Average the truth. Out of what? Out of about a dozen sources that I routinely look at. Okay, and so when those dozen trusted sources, okay, there ain't none of them. There's not a single trusted source on the TV tube. Even Sean Hannity and Fox, they got some good stuff going over there. They don't have enough information for me to even get out of them because they can't go crazy. Once they start getting labeled as a conspiracist, another day. No. So I average the truth from 10 to a dozen sources of alternative media, which they have proven right time and time again. But they get shit wrong. But also as an analyst, I have to consider their biases. You know, I got an electrician's license too. We'd have to derate. You know, we're trying to do load calculations for a new service. You know, you have to derate for a bunch of things. You know, you got to allow for it. You know, what if everything's on at the same time? Anyway, so my sources have flaws as well, but nothing big. Well, you never know. I mean, I don't know. You do what you need to show. But some of my sources I've been listening to for 20, 30, 40 years. Okay? And so, and I got another source I'm listening to for maybe a year out on the outside mode, and he's slamming that one because of this. And alternative media, we're all on the same side. Get over your little conflicts. Because, when you, here's another thing, right, before I move on. When Q goes dark, and we know why Q's had to go dark. We're in a holding pattern. Craig, why do we got to be in a holding pattern? We want Q to do everything for us? Take a look at our education system. We should be carrying the battle flag for that. That's not another front. That's our flank. Secretary DeVoe, we're going to get to you in another something soon, but we got to do something. Okay, my sources. My number one source. I never miss an episode of Dave over at the X22 report. Number one. So it's just, and that's the one I refer to anybody that will take the time and where do you get your info from? But I've been listening. I've been listening to Q from the day one that he came on, from right after inauguration of President Trump. I never thought for 1 second we were going to war with North Korea. Not 1 second. But yet, we've got some of my trusted sources, they're going to throw, and they say they've been listening to Q. No, they haven't. I'm just calling them out. Anyway, and these are not, except for David, the X22 report, because if you're going to introduce somebody, he's calm. It's methodical. It's been a slow, but it is what it is. Okay, so I got Craig over Just Informed Talk. I've been listening to him for years. He's good. Trust him. David Vose. I actually like David Vose, but that's another aspect of just knowing who you are as a person, as a species, and because we got organized religion that's corrupt at the top. Could be somewhere. I really believe at some place we were all worshiping the same God, and I still think we do. They just don't know. Andy over at Total Eclipse, the Total Eclipse. I listen, Andy, brother, there's somebody else can show up with hurricane force winds. Yeah, the Hagman report. Doug Opie, been listening to him for years. Dave Hodges. Dave's got a unique way of doing it. But William Mount out of Tacoma, yeah. And hey, Destroying Illusion. There's a Seattle kid, and William Mount, yeah, Tacoma. David Zublik, the Sergeant Report, and finally Daniel at Daniel 7. Daniel, you've got a lot of good stuff, but you're alienating 80% of your potential market. Not going to go in why. You know why. We'll leave it at that. So I go to all these people. I'm doing it religiously for 3 years. 3 years. And that's how I do it. I average the truth. When I got all these people, if all these people were saying the same thing on the same day, I'd probably bump that up to 100%. But I won't do that because If I'm wrong, whatever. I don't care if I'm wrong. Got nothing to lose. Not a thing. All right. So what's that? Got to make sure I got to keep on track. Good. Excuse me. Oh yeah. Well, one thing about let me another reason why I think Q is artificial. We have a battle of memes, right? I'm not going to explain memes today, but to either produce a meme that means something in sound bites, right? Because we're communicating in sound bites. My kids won't listen to me. I mean, it's hard because they only listen in sound bites. When you reduce your dictionary to this many words, do you know how hard it is? Every time the dictionary gets smarter, it gets harder to communicate. You think the dictionary, the school systems have been weaponized? Okay. So what does it mean? You add some pictures and some comments but artificial intelligence still has a problem with that, I think. But he may be learning. Or he may not ever learn. Because you got to have a soul, a spirit, I think, to really understand these memes. Because, you're doing a word search, they just exposed, right? You're doing a word search for Comey, right? C-O-M-E-Y. Yeah. Tired, gentlemen. Get that another day. It's all good. Okay, I can't back up. Okay, I've got to learn just to let it go. Okay, and just take the criticism that's coming to me. Okay, I can take the criticism. I've been called so many things. Yeah, I've been called a Nazi. I've been called a homophobe. I've been called little Hitler. I've been called a racist. I've been called so many things, none of which I am. I've got the most multi-racial family on the planet. And it hurts. It hurts to be called all those things. I can't imagine the president, God knows. I can't imagine how he's taking those arrows. Every day he's taking those arrows. Bam, bam, bam. Excuse me. Anyway, so we're getting these memes out there, right? Because these memes mean something to our young people, right? Especially the millennials. Our next generation, Generation Q, won't have this problem. Because Generation Q is going to space. Generation Q has a lot to look forward to. My American dream has been stolen from me. Okay, Paulo Creek Farms and Garden, right? Paulo's not over that fictitious character, the boxing guy. It's Apollo Moon Mission, right? Apollo Moon Mission. I should be in space. I should be in space. We went to the moon. Watch that sitting there. So anyway. These logarithms that are trying to censorship us, okay? They have a hard time. They have a hard time with memes, but our millennials don't. But our millennials have a hard time communicating in the King's English. That's what they've done. It's very difficult. It's very difficult because I can't to communicate to even my own children in a sensible manner on something complicated. It can't be done. They won't listen long enough. I think I'm just going off the rails again. If I can't say it in, 30 words or less, they've lost it. So anyway, so that's why. I mean, to me, it was evident. Okay, so let me give you on some intel. Okay, because I said I got intel. Okay, and some of this intel, this is really not intel. This is insights from Navy analysts. Okay, things. If we're on the verge. Okay, and this all I've changed. I got all screwed up because I was going live. I was doing it a certain way. And then we started landing Marines in Iraq again. Okay? And I had to change my plan, right? It's the same thing with Q. The battle lines change, you got to go with it. We know why it's taking so long. We're at war. Call it a war of words. I call it a shooting war. You want, call it a war of words. But this train wreck we call our education system, the war we're fighting with Q right now, they're at the front lines. Our education system is our flank, and we got to get on it right away. Okay. If you have an invasion force, let's say, like from Red Dawn, they're gonna roll over the border. They're gonna roll over our southern border. Okay. Here's something I want to be sure if we've planned for. I don't know if we have. Our brothers and sisters of the Mormon faith. Right? Because I took this habit up a long time ago. I had a buddy at Fleet Training Group. He's a Mormon, Coast Guard. And he stores a year's worth of food for himself and one for his neighbor. That's a lot of food, shipmate. And considering if his neighbor is a Mormon, right, he can't be saving, he's not saving it for that. He's not saving it for that neighbor. He's saving it for his neighbor of some other faith. That's the faith our Mormon brothers and sisters are following it. And if you're a Mormon, let me just say this. God bless you. But your food stocks are not for your leadership. Remember that. And remember this, your food stocks have already been compromised. They know where you live. They know where you live, all over the country. You think the enemy doesn't know that? You don't think they roll over the southern border, right? Into Arizona? They don't know where you live? Your food stocks alone will feed, if it's for a family of whatever, 6 or 10, I don't know. I'll tell you right now, your food stocks will feed an entire platoon of insurgents for a year. And if you've got your food stocks, if they're at your house, our enemy already knows. They know where you live. Your leadership has already compromised that. You need to give a really hard thought about what you're going to do when the shooting starts. If it starts. We don't want it to start, right? That's the whole idea. We don't want it to start. We don't want a war. We want to go to space. So brothers, sisters of the Mormon faith, please just take note of that. That's just something, that's an observation I made a long time ago, but I don't know if we're prepared for it. I don't know, I don't, and just like that. That's one, okay. 1, 4, 5, 3, 4. Sorry. I got one question. And this was something else I thought right away. And this is more of a question. This is not really intel. I wonder in the very beginning, when the Alliance started talking, maybe even before, who knows? Did they do it with code talkers? God bless them, Navajo. They have provided us a service we should never forget, because the very beginning, who controlled all the communications? Comms is important. Yeah. Well, I don't have it here, but speaking of comms, one of the things, and then I'm going to get to the last one. have we thought about reestablishing a civil defense force? Do it with a CB radio. I got 20 of them in the garage. Okay, it's something I always want to do. Let the kids play with the CB radio. Establish a web. Establish a citizens web using citizens band radio. Bring in the hand radios, relay stations, and as trainers, get these kids, because we can build these little webs, right? Kids talking. Somebody does it. I got 10 radios right now in the garage, and antennas. I'll fix them if you want to do it. But it's something I thought about, because communication is extremely important. What they could do with citizen band radios and the ham radio, we could link over the Rockies with the ham guys, right? We should be able to do citizens band from here. I'm over here in Bremerton, Washington. We should be able to do citizens band radio shit all the way to Snoqualmie Pass. Now we may need a ham to get us over the Rockies or over the Cascades, and then later over the Rockies. But I don't know. That's just my thought. I'll show you another day, but shit, I've got UHF. I got my UHF antennas hung. I could have been broadcasting from the top of 9858, top of the hill, 9855. I can hook my VHF. Not legal to do. Well, not legal to do so, I don't think. But I got my antennas strung in case I need to. Okay. It's just another thing to think about. Okay. This might be a little bit hard. Okay. But I don't know. Don't assume. I'm going to have my glasses on. Stand by. Sorry. Don't assume that PhD or that guy with all that fucking brass, pardon my language, knows more than you do. Don't think it's so minor that it won't make a difference. Because when we get to this final battle, people are going to have to make decisions. Which side you stand with. We may have riots in the streets of the major cities.